for a grand finale since entering politics since 2008, and I always watch Penang from online. I've never been here to experience the atmosphere at night, but it's incredible. Thank you so much. Kasih semua kerana sudi datang untuk menyokong grand finale kita. Saya tak ada masa untuk bercakap panjang kerana saya ada 2 lokasi lagi, tetapi saya nak cepat-cepat beritahu anda tiga poin kenapa anda kena pilih calon harapan dan Barisan Nasional esok di Pulau Pinang. Pertamanya, 1, Perikatan Nasional tidak ada credibility, tidak ada pengalaman dan tidak ada capacity untuk menjadi kerajaan negeri di Pulau Pinang. Berdasarkan rekod mereka di Putrajaya semasa lepas langkah Sheraton, kita boleh lihat hashtag kerajaan gagal. Saya tak ada masa untuk pergi semua poin, tetapi malam ini balik sebelum tidur, kalau tak puas hati dengan penjelasan saya, cari hashtag kerajaan gagal dan anda boleh lihat pencapaian mereka. Pertamanya, mereka tutup parlimen. Sebarang kerajaan yang tutup parlimen tidak mempunyai accountability kepada rakyat. Dewan Rakyat tidak boleh ditutup. Kalau anda bagi peluang kepada Perikatan Nasional untuk mentadbir di Pulau Pinang, mereka ada potensi untuk menutup Dewan Negeri Pulau Pinang. Jika mereka tak tahu bagaimana nak jawab pembangkang, mereka akan tutup Dewan Negeri Dun Pulau Pinang. Pertama. Yang keduanya adalah pemimpin mereka tidak mempunyai rekod untuk bertemu dengan media untuk menjawab soalan yang susah. Semasa Tan Sri Muhyiddin menjadi Perdana Menteri, pada masa itu Ketua Eksekutif Kerajaan tidak pernah membuat sidang media untuk jawab soalan. Kita lihat pada masa itu semua keputusan dijawab melalui PDF dokumen online. The Prime Minister, the leader of Perikatan Nasional, does not have the capacity to answer questions, difficult questions through media engagement. And that's why during the difficult time of governing Malaysia, every press conference was done through a perutusan on TV, reading a script, and when they are not happy, they just send you a PDF document. Here's the PDF document, you read on your own. Very different from the leader we have today. The leader of this unity government goes from town hall to town hall answering difficult questions. You will never see Muhyiddin answering the kind of questions openly that Anwar has to answer today. But Anwar is still on the roadshow. Anwar is still answering difficult questions. That's the kind of leader you want, where you have the opportunity to engage. Even young students have the opportunity to engage the Prime Minister one-on-one. Thirdly, you have them declaring an emergency during that time. What does declaring an emergency do? Do you remember there was a time when they were supposed to distribute food basket during COVID? Sepatutnya menghantar bakul makanan. Bagaimana bakul makanan itu diputuskan, bagaimana dibeli oleh kerajaan, bukan melalui open tender. Semuanya melalui perolehan darurat, bermaksud direct. Semua perbelanjaan pada masa itu melalui perolehan darurat. Itu sebab hashtag kerajaan gagal menjadi begitu popular sehingga kerajaan tersebut jatuh. So Perikatan Nasional does not have, they have not earned the right to govern Pulau Pinang. I'm requesting you and appealing to you tomorrow, jangan sesekali bagi X kepada Perikatan Nasional. Okay, kekalkan yang sudah ada rekod di sini 3 penggal yang lalu. Yang keduanya, siapa di sini sokong pimpinan wanita? If you believe in women empowerment, put up your hands. If you believe in women empowerment, there is only one choice for you tomorrow when you put your X. You must support Harapan and Barisan Nasional. Why? Because you look at Perikatan Nasional's women candidates, you look at who they are fielding. The best they have to offer is Rina Harun. The best female leader Perikatan Nasional has today remains Rina Harun. And that's That's why they're sending Rina Harun to Selangor, Dun Batu Tiga. After being sent out from Titi Wangsa, from Sepang, now she's having a go at Dun Selangor. If you look at Perikatan Nasional's tawaran baru, Perikatan Nasional katakan kalau mereka menang, mereka nak bina childcare center untuk memperkasakan wanita. During that time, I just quickly tell you, in 2019, when Pakatan Harapan was in federal government, Lim Guan Eng was the finance minister. And at that time, when we discovered that there was a lack of childcare for our doctors, nurses, policemen, Lim Guan Eng decided to allocate 10 million ringgit for childcare. With 10 million ringgit, myself, Dr. Wan Aziza, rushed through to build and construct as many childcare as possible, especially in hospitals. Why? Because our frontliners do not have childcare. Your doctors and nurses do not have people looking after their babies, and they have shift work. And so with 10 million given by Lim Guan Eng, we managed to approve 60 over childcare for our frontliners. Lim Guan Eng then said, okay, with 10 million you can do so much. Next year, 2020, I give you 3 times more. Lim Guan Eng allocated 30 million ringgit for childcare. With 30 million, we were doing our planning, and we say with 30 million, we can actually construct 200 childcare for our doctors and nurses. That was in January 2020. February 2020, Sheraton move happened. 30 million set aside. With that 30 million set aside, as opposition, I entered parliament during COVID lockdown. We all saw how during COVID lockdown, our doctors and nurses do not have places to send their children. Why? Because all the taskas were shut. Doctors and nurses, remember at that time, if you are exposed to a COVID patient, you have to be quarantined. You remember that difficult time for our doctors and nurses. And it was during that time that we began to question Rina Harun, what do you do with the 30 million ringgit for childcare? You know what was the answer in parliament? First few times we asked, no answer. Until towards the end of the year, after COVID has passed so many months, when we asked, they said, actually you set aside 30 million ringgit for childcare, but we only gave out 5.5 million ringgit. So out of 30 million, they only used 5.5 million ringgit. When you ask them why, they say, oh, because nobody wanted. Can you imagine, at the critical time where our frontliners needed care for their children, their answer is nobody wanted the money. So they did the lazy thing, they did a shortcut, they just distributed the balance of 30 million and gave out to all the taska as grant. Here's some money, here's some money, here's some money. Instead of using that money for our frontliners. And because of that, until today, you have our hospitals, police stations, all lagging behind in terms of providing care for our frontliners. Why is this so important? If a policy maker like Rina Harun cannot understand the urgency of why frontliners need care for their children, I am saying, do not believe what Perikatan Nasional promises you today about building childcare in Penang, in Selangor if they win. In Selangor, they promise, if they win, they will spend 50 million ringgit on childcare. 30 million or so, you don't know how to use? Do you think they will be able to use the 50 million? No way. So if you believe in women empowerment, don't choose a party that has no record in raising up women leaders. Choose Harapan. Harapan has that track record. Finally, my final point. If you stand here and you believe in Bangsa Malaysia, if you believe that the only way forward for Malaysia to remain competitive, to remain strong as a nation, is for a multiracial coalition to govern in Putrajaya and in Pulau Pinang, you have to choose Harapan and Barisan Nasional. That is your only way to ensure that we move on strongly as a multiracial nation and as a multiracial state. Ladies and gentlemen, DAP has proven to be able to govern as a clean government. For 3 years in a row, since 2018, 2019, 2020, Penang has got a clearance. Sijil Ketua Audit Negara, tanpa teguran, Pulau Pinang has delivered. And so all of you tonight, you have to, after this ceramah, go home early. After 12 midnight, the politicians cannot campaign anymore. After 12 midnight, we are prohibited from campaigning. But we rely on you, the supporters, to continue campaigning until tomorrow. You have to tell your family members, go out and vote Harapan, go out and take Barisan Nasional in Pulau Pinang. I'm appealing to you to send Chow Kong Yao back to Komta for another term. The entire nation is looking at how Penang will vote tomorrow. The entire nation will stop and wait for the results. Pulau Pinang is going to determine what's going to happen in Putrajaya. You, the people of Penang, must do it again. Just like how you did in 2008, you started the wave rolling, and now we are counting on you to deliver that tomorrow. And so I've given you 3 reasons. Number 1, PN cannot govern. They have failed before. Number 2, if you believe in empowering women, only us, Harapan and Barisan Nasional. And number 3, multiracial government. Penang has to take the lead. Vote in Harapan. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you.
Terima kasih.